This is Curtis coming at you from AcePerHead Studios once again, covering the 2021 NFL season. Dolphins Week 13 is in the books. They're now 6-7 after beating the Giants 20-9. The 5-game win streak. Waddle broke a receiving record. Jalen Phillips broke a sack record. Tua had a good game. Heading into the bye week, things do turn around. But celebrate, enjoy, but let's stay even-keeled, fans. The hype factor is getting cranked up. Enjoy it, but also evaluate and be a little cautious. We're going to probably beat the Jets, but that Saints game, Titans game, and Patriots game, each one of those is almost like a level getting turned up. And it's going to really reveal where this team is at. But the great news is, this is a team with heart, with character, that supports the coach, supports the quarterback, and supports each other. And given all the stuff that was heaped onto them to start the season, they have risen and shown to be a quality team in the sense of being together and fighting. There's still a lot of testing we need to do to see what their ceiling is. But this is really good news. So let's enjoy it. Let's take a look at the game. I think as Fin fans, we need to be very happy. There's some really good stuff. And surprisingly, there was actually some good points on the offensive line. There's some context to this, and I'm going to get into it today and more in film study. But I wish Jones had been in. Daniel Jones would have changed this offense up. It would have made a more closely contested game, but he wasn't. Glennon shined a little early, but he is what he is. We know what he is, and it isn't much. Daniel Jones doesn't appear to be great, but he's much better than Glennon. So we have to remember that this offense that the Dolphins defense manhandled really was understaffed. Their receivers were beat up. They really don't have a great offensive line. And they had probably, a third-string quarterback running the show. But they did their job. Van Ginkel didn't really have the great stats, but when you watched him, he really shined. And Phillips, another multi-sack, multi-tackle loss for a game for him. 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. The kid's really starting to shine. I think I'm going to spend time doing research on him to find exactly why. And I think the kid is showing a lot of stuff. Stats might be raising it just a little bit higher than what the reality is. Some of it might be coming through scheme, but clearly some of this, a good portion actually, is coming through just physical talent. And that's critical. Some people saying Jason Taylor didn't have, this many sacks. Come on. Jason Taylor played the run and the pass. Different era. Let's not get it twisted yet, okay? Maybe we will, but let's not get too crazy. Now, Tua for his game, I've seen his throwing mechanics tighten up. Now, there was some off passes, some high and some behind on the intermediate routes. There was some drops, and that really is a mitigating factor. But when I watched his mechanics, I saw it in preseason. It was really tight and really good, and it kind of broke down a little bit as the season went on. But they're really coming together. I'm seeing some progression, strong progression in his mechanics. Still some ways to go, which is great. It means more velocity is coming and more accuracy. 30 for 41, 244, 2 TDs. And that release that I've been talking about when I did studies of him in the offseason, when I did studies of him in preseason, some of the early stuff I did in the season, and then I really focused on it, I think 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, is a major tool. A couple of times he just stopped, set, and released, and the defense couldn't react. And that quick release is a big skill set that's helping him very much on the pro level. And there's a lot of good stuff to see from this kid. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I want to let the tape do the talking. Hollins, it was a semi-poor throw by Tua into the end zone, and Hollins made a wonderful catch. Really showing to be I think it was Moose Johnson said it was a glue-type player coming up big. Parker, if you check back or remember when I was doing studies of Tua in off-season, in college, he loved to throw that behind mid-intermediate or deep pass to the receiver for him to come back and get it. He's very accurate with that. You can see him do it all through college. And even last year, you could see him with Parker building that chemistry. And this is one of Parker's greatest gifts. And this is why they really need to keep Parker. His deal is super cheap. I don't care about the injuries. You need to fill out around him. And when he's in, it's just a very potent weapon, especially for Tua's game. Waddle, good game. That one drop could have been his big breakout. He dropped it. Some cramps. Gesicki had, some of them were saying drops, but some of those were high. There was I think there was one official drop. But he made some good catches, took some big hits. But the four of them really showed a lot. And it would be really nice to bring Gesicki back to keep this going forward because he does play a part. And this is a quality, you add Albert in, but I think you get dump Albert and fill another receiver in next year. But the receiving group's not bad, and it's pretty good, and the talents work with Tua, as we're seeing. Run game, though, my key for this game was the defensive tackles of the Giants versus the Miami offensive line. Now, the good signs I talked about is Dieter made a difference. You could see on the doubles where previously there was getting no movement, even with the doubles. Dieter came in and was able to drive that wedge out and then peel off and create that gap of space for the running back to pick up some yards. Now, it wasn't a lot. Ahmed and Gaskin both only averaged 2.9. So that flaw in our game right now where we need two linemen to take on one guy and then it exposes us with tight ends doing the blocking on a D end or something, that ultimately needs to get fixed. And the thing is, too, you have to remember that the Giants on defense only have Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Reggie Ragland, he's the linebacker, safety, Xavier McKinney, and Jackson, there's their corner who's very good. He was out. So they only got really 4 plays. Everybody else is like a body or less than a body. And I don't think our offensive line got exposed too much because they didn't have the ends to really make us pay. So we weren't able to run that football, and we're going to be able to do, this is the Jets have a lesser front line, defensive line, and we're going to be able to handle them. But the Saints are very tough, and it's going to be very interesting to see how we handle that. Titans, same thing. And even though the Patriots don't have the highest level talent on the interior through scheme, they do generate a lot of pressure interior. So I'm a little concerned over those last 3 games, but there was some signs of life. This offensive line didn't play like the 45th best offensive line in football. But again, there was a lot of mitigating factors. Now, one thing that did concern me is because this team was so beat up, and Freddie Kitchens is not a good OC, just some really bad calls there. And it really wasn't much offensive talent, but the time of possession was near equal. And that does concern me going forward because this is a gutted and inept offense and a pretty wishy-washy defense. They're scrappy, though, as I said. I wrote in Uncle Finn's News saying they're a scrappy team. And I think Joe Judge is a pretty good coach, and they kind of hang into games. They just don't have the firepower. So this was a really good game for Miami. I think we saw a lot of good stuff, and I'm still concerned with the offensive line, but there was signs of hope. But this is the first watch. Got basically 2 weeks before the next game, so I'm going to do a lot of tape. Going to ask you guys what you want to see. Actually start commenting what you guys want me to cover in the film studies. I'm going to go back and look at old film, do like a whole season review up to this point. Try to get us prepared for this last final push. A 5-0, soon to be 6-0 for the streak. And I think, there was a stat only since 1994. The Giants are the only team since 1994 to lose 7 games and to win 5 in a row, whatever. So this is very good, but let's keep on evaluating. Good day, Fin fans. Nice to go into the bye week like this. I will catch you soon with a lot of film. This is Curtis saying thank you for staying to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comments mean the most. Comments are going to help me. Tell me what you need to see. I'm going to cover the film. I got some stuff I want to cover, but I want to hear from you guys. Subscribes and likes help us with the Google overlords, keeps us in business. I really like doing this, so Google overlords are important. And then I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, AcePerHead. Without them, this wouldn't be happening. They're the best online sportsbook, and they want to let you know with their world-class software. You can get on the action with friends, family, and coworkers. There's a local bookie. They're the best. They keep us in business, and it's just a phenomenal company. And you guys are phenomenal. I really appreciate everything. So let's dig into that film. Let's all of us dig into the film so we can all see stuff together. Shoot me your ideas, shoot me your thoughts, and let's get ready for a nice, happy bye week. This is Curtis saying thank you for staying to the end. Catch you next time. Be well.